Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading about random shift. It is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you, delivered courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a general reading, so take what works for you and leave the rest. All right, we're going to begin. And we have the little cat coming here. All right, you can hop up here. And then we have the Three of Swords to begin with. The Three of Swords is talking about, clearly there's some sort of heartache here. We have three swords in a heart. But when you look again, you realize, hey, the heart is actually quite large in context to the swords. So this energy is talking about, maybe it's just more like nails in a heart, which would be bad enough. But the energy is saying that there could be a third-party energy in romantic love that has come between a couple. This can represent gossip and slander. This can also represent harsh words being spoken, or maybe even a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. So let's see what is going on here. That is the underlying energy for this reading. So this is going to be one of those random readings that we are going to have to deal with. So this is talking about the Three of Pentacles. The good news with this card is the Three of Pentacles is saying that you have mastered a skill set. People are noticing that you're in an elevated position. They would like to collaborate with you. And this is all good news. This quite often can represent the energy of possibly scholarships coming through. Possibly if you're an athlete and you have a scholarship, it could be maybe a pro team wants you to play for them. This energy could represent, the entertainment industry, actors, actresses, this Broadway. This could represent the music industry. So it could be like you're in a band or you're a singer. And there's agents that want to bring you in and maybe have concerts, whatever that is. There's a lot of energy here around the entertainment industry quite a bit. But this could also represent you finishing your degree in college, being valedictorian of the class, and having a lot of offers that way. This is just basically it's saying that you're being noticed because you're at the top of your game. And this is generally like starting out and people are noticing that there's a lot of potential in you. The thing about this card is it's saying that if you're going to sign any contracts or make any agreements with anyone, you want to make sure that you take it to a lawyer or someone so that you can, someone that's an expert in that field, to make sure the contracts you're signing are fair and that that the people that you are signing up with are in alignment with your lifestyle. The Pentacles represent money because money is a big part of health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So this is saying if you're going to sign into any contracts, make sure that they're in alignment, not just with the amount of money you want to make, but with the lifestyle you want to live. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is one of 4 knights in the tarot. And this represents communication coming in. In the old days, the knights would do all the long distance communication because that was the only way that you had long distance communication. They would travel for miles back and forth throughout the kingdoms and deliver messages from the kings and queens and the rest of the court. And the element that this knight has is the pentacle. So this is some sort of information coming in about possibly a deal that can be made here. So this is interesting energy because right after this, this is this night is the slowest of all the nights. in the deck. So like he's almost basically, his horse is at a standstill, and he's overlooking the field, and he's trying to figure out, okay, which way am I going to go now? And the thing is like he needs to have a board meeting with himself to brush his teeth. It's like so annoying. Just make a decision and hurry up and get the information here. So you might be waiting for some information and growing impatient because it has not arrived as of yet. Now, the information these days does not have to come in person like it would in those days. This could be a phone call, it could be a text message, it could be something that comes in the post. You might be in a position where you get an email, or you're on social media and there's a message, someone messages you off there, or you see an event posted and you're you attend the event, and next thing you know, now you have the information that you want. And it's also a good idea to keep tabs on what's happening at the top of the pyramid, because whatever's going on with the elites, the leaders of the countries, that kind of energy trickles down to everybody to some extent. And it also could give you ideas for new trends coming up in business, etc. So we have the Three of Cups here. Now, cups in tarot generally represent love and romantic love, but it could be love of anyone or anything. It could be love of something you love to do or something you love to be. In this case, these people are toasting each other, and this would be a celebration, but they're not celebrating each other. They're celebrating some event that's taking place. That's what they're, and quite often this card can represent gossip and slander and that kind of energy. With this card, I'm just, this feels like the information coming in is not necessarily celebratory. So quite often when this card comes up, they're not, what bothers me about this card is no one's looking at each other while they're toasting. And in many cultures, particularly in Europe, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they have a superstition that it'll cause 7 years bad luck in your love life. So that's like not what you want. Not, most people don't want that, and particularly in Europe. So this is talking about, they're celebrating something, but what are they celebrating? This card quite often can represent a third-party energy, and this card quite often comes up that it is representing a third-party energy, like gossip and slander about that energy. So we'll see. We'll take it as a celebration of some sort for now. But with this card and with this card, like this could say, this sometimes is secret society energy. And secret society energy can be many, many different groups that are around the world, and, religions, cults, like societies, all sorts. You've probably heard of a lot of different societies. So the thing about societies is that they have their own rules, their rituals, their handshakes, the way they do things. And, they consider the group to be way more important than any individual in the group. So quite often this can have hidden, if you sign contracts with them, it can have hidden aspects to the contract that cause a real shift in your lifestyle that you weren't expecting. So let's see what goes on with this. We have the star energy. So this is saying you're a star, in case you didn't know it. This is galactic energy from the celestial energy, and this is talking about the star. She has her right foot in the water here, and she's pouring her energy into the water, mixing it up, and then pouring that out onto earth. And you can see she has 5 streams here. These 5 streams represent the 5 points on the pentacle. So this is about bringing her own special talents down to earth, just exactly as we're seeing here. So this could be a star energy. You might be, it could be that you're being offered a major role in the next big movie in Hollywood. Who knows? That type of energy. But it's you're following your North Star, and this is talking about being on your divine destined path, on God's plan. So let's see what's going on here. You're victorious. So whatever it is that you're wanting to receive, or healing from this heartache, this is saying that you have victory. This is talking about someone who has proven themselves to be a strong leader, and whatever competition or whatever promotion or whatever this is, you have managed to win, and you are in a leadership role now. And even these people, some of them in the background look a little disgruntled. Like, say this was a promotion at work and you were the one that got it. They might have wanted it too, but everybody could see you were the clear leader, and that's because you were able to rein in your emotions and discipline your mind, so that you kept your shift together during the interview, and your performance has been good, so they consider you a leader and you have the position. And then we have the Chariot coming in, and the Chariot is saying this is already happening on the spiritual realm. So as slow as this night is, when he does come in, it is a solid offer generally. And so this energy could be talking about some sort of energy of this communication being, you'll be really happy when it happens. You'll be victorious over whatever energy has happened here. Now the Chariot represents that this is already happening in the spiritual realm. And if you're on the Chariot, it means you're on your destined path. This person is leaving the city and moving on to another area. So this could represent, like, let's say you were a really good athlete and you were signed up for a team. This could represent you moving to whatever location that is where that team plays, basically, or where they're from. Sometimes this also can represent law enforcement because of the black and whites. You notice there's no reins. It's like a tank. It's coming through no matter what. Tung, 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 tung. So this could sometimes represent some sort of energy. I don't know what this heartache is about. We'll keep going and see. Spoiled for choice. Okay, spoiled for choice would kind of imply that perhaps someone... because I just asked that question, it could represent a third-party collaboration. But spoiled for choice, just being, because like each one of these 7 cups has a gift in it, and each of these gifts is an opportunity for you. You're like a black hole just sucking in opportunities, like. But the thing is that you, like a black hole, you are the center of your universe, so you have to put your own spin on it. So a lot of these could actually come up as challenges, but possibilities are quite often hidden in challenges, and a lot of the time, the more challenging something is, the bigger the possibility. So this is about you deciding which of these opportunities you're interested in taking on at this time, and what kind of spin are you going to put on it. And I feel like that's speaking about here, about how you're in a very elevated position here. And so maybe this is saying that there's been a lot of offers. See, sometimes this can say like spoiled for choice, like there's so many offers coming in that you can turn down the ones that are not in alignment with whatever you're doing. So that's a real good plus. And keep in mind, it's not about how much money it pays. I mean, that matters too, but also what are the conditions under which you will be working, and that type of energy. And where do you need to relocate to? Is it somewhere where you want to be, or is it somewhere out in the boondocks? And then we have the Hermit energy. So this is all happening after this heartache before. The Hermit represents the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is when, something has happened and it's been very heartbreaking, like this energy here. And the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain, and when the light in his lantern is full of the light of the North Star, he comes down and he takes action after conferring with God. Now, I feel like you conferred with God and are made a choice, and you received that. I feel that whatever you chose, you were victorious in landing that kind of energy. And look at this. There's a lover coming in now. So this is basically saying, I feel that whatever has happened in the past, the information that came in here with these pentacles is saying that, you know, these people won't be laughing so much now at you, because you landed the best position that you could. You were victorious in that. It's happening really soon. It's going to provide a lot of opportunity to you, and this was after a dark night of the soul. Now this could be a new lover coming in, because this is ordained by God. This is talking about, like, the sun represents God's energy, and in tarot, like, the sun card itself is the happiest card in the deck. So this could be that not only are you going to receive the pentacles you deserve, but you're also going to receive, that you're going to have someone coming into your life, a divine partner, that will be someone that is really, that you're really, really going to enjoy the relationship with. And this is talking about this cloud in between them is saying you probably don't know this person, or if you do, you might know of them, but you don't know them very well. Like maybe you've met in the past, but you haven't seen each other for a while or a long time. You don't, or you just never have met at all. And you definitely, this is saying it's a new relationship. It would not be with someone that you've had an intimate relationship with in the past. And this is because you went, all of this is happening is because you took the time for yourself to be able to really make strong choices, and you took the time to heal from this energy here. Now this is really interesting, because this person is in a church and they have put their mind to rest, and they're meditating and praying. They're wanting to get answers from the Most High. This is talking about that energy, and this is talking about, like, hanging your mind on the wall. Like, you don't need to use it right now, because you want to use your heart to be able to feel. And this could represent the subconscious mind, which is formed by the time you're about 6 or 7. And that is, when you're a baby, you're like a sponge. You absorb your environment at a very high level. And when you're that age, you don't remember being that. So you have to rely on the people who are in charge of your care to say, oh, you were like this or you were like that. And really, the subconscious mind is made up of the environment that you're in, the culture, the values of the people that raise you for the first 5, 6, 7 years. And this is really, like, most people don't have much memory of this other than, like, when they start getting into kindergarten age. So the subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on you, and goes well, you use it well into your adulthood. But it's really made up of the thoughts of the people and the values that they had, and that's what you were raised with. And then you form your own opinions and thoughts as you go. So this is also the unconscious mind, which is from the soul's perspective. It's more like your spiritual side. And from your perspective, like, a lot of people will say that, you know, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, the soul is saying, I am a soul traveling in a human body, and this is my vehicle to get around. And so I can navigate Earth, and my needs to be met too. This is your spiritual energy. And if the unconscious mind is not getting what it needs to fulfill itself, then it will start arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is what you have a handle on. You remember what happened. I went here yesterday, I did this, I came home. You could tell other people about it. You have a conscious memory of it. So when these 3 swords come together, and plug into your heart, then you're going after your authentic desires. And this is saying, after healing from this energy, whatever it was, that it started off as heartache, you've healed from it, and you've been victorious in healing from it. And now you're on the destined path that you were meant to be on. And you're moving forward at a very, look at, everything's turning out absolutely perfect in a perfectly imperfect world. So this is talking, the victory here, I feel, is the victory of making strong choices after having some sort of heartache, and going, to climb the mountain to talk to God, and that's what this is representing. and then coming down from the mountain, and good shift happens for you. We've got like this, you're in an elevated position perhaps. You had a lot of opportunities here, didn't know which one to take, consulted with God, and chose the correct one because of that, and really looked at, okay, what does my authentic heart want? And I feel like at some point, like this could just say that there was no heartache, but we just thought there could be heartache. But I think that what this is saying is there was potential for heartache if you made the wrong choice. And you didn't. You went inward, you meditated, you consulted with yourself, you took the time to make a big, like when you're making big life decisions like this, you want to take, you want to make sure you have the information. And so the Knight of Pentacles, even though he's slow, when he comes to the conclusion, it's usually a solid, strong one. And one that will be lucrative for you, that will be in alignment with your lifestyle. And so this is really saying that instead of choosing a heartbreaking decision, you chose a real strong one for you, and you have love coming in. You're going to be victorious, and you're a star. So I feel like this is almost saying, like, there's a lot of news coming in a lot of the time, and it's really negative in that, but there's a lot of really positive, wonderful things happening on the planet. We just don't tend to hear about those the same way. So I really like this reading. This is saying, like, make strong choices and you'll live a good life, basically. I'm going to clarify it for those of you that want clarification. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started this energy back in this oracle back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64 paintings for it. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I'm working on bringing it out, but I want to play with it because I do have information, but it's all written, and I want to, I have played with the cards before at fairs and at psychic fairs, and I took them out into my seminars when I was teaching seminars, but I haven't really, the deck wasn't complete. So now that all the paintings are complete and I have a lot of the written information, I want to play with them for a while with you guys. So that's what I'm doing here. The numbers on these cards represent the cards in the order that they're listed in the gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. So if you want to check them out, you can check them out there. I'll put the information in the description box below, and I'll put them in the order they appear here so you know which paintings to look for. This is talking about a transition happening for sure. So I do feel that this is saying that, whatever this could represent for someone that you've been that you were going through a hard time, because we do have the dark night of the soul. And this sometimes can just represent also having a hard time making this choice. Perhaps you were attached to one of the choices more so than any of the others. And I feel like there was some sort of energy here where you could have made the wrong choice and it could have gone the wrong way, because it's what's yours is mine, is what's mine is mine. And that's kind of the secret society attitude. Like, it's like you work for them and they'll give you what they expect you, what they feel you deserve in return. And then the lack of awareness. Yeah, never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. So you can miss out on a lot of opportunities if you make a life choice and you don't take your time to make it and make sure it's in alignment with your heart's desires. And then this is talking about, and perhaps you've done that in the past. I feel like this energy could have represented that you did that with, we all have those situations where we're, young and we're in love and it turns out not to be what we thought it was going to be. So this could possibly be some sort of situation like that. We have the Pisces energy coming in. This is sink or swim energy, the senior executive of the tarot, of the horoscope signs. It's the last one, and it represents the water energy, emotions and your intuition, idealism, that type of energy. Neptune just moved out of Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune just left Pisces in the last while here, and moved into the sign of Aries. And that's a very different energy, and it's going to be there for 14 years. So if you're watching this reading in the next 14 years, this is still relevant, because then Saturn moved in a couple weeks later. Saturn joined Neptune in Aries, and so Saturn will be there for about 2.5 to 3 years. So from the time that I posted this energy it's quite a big shift for a lot of people in the energy. It's about idealism and responsibility, and which one do you take, and making these big decisions. So I feel that you made a strong decision. This is an energetic upgrade for you. You're victorious. There is this energy coming in of strength. It took a lot of strength and courage for you to make this decision. I feel like maybe there was one of the offers probably had way more money offered, and probably a lot of people were saying, why wouldn't you take that one? And it's because it wasn't the lifestyle that you wanted to live, or maybe you found out it would have been the secret society energy, and you just didn't want to live by their rules. You wanted to live by your own and be free, like God intended you to be, on your own divine path. And that's a strong choice. It takes courage to make those choices, especially if a lot of people are counseling you, and the family and your friends, and saying, are you crazy? Why don't you take that money? Well, because then they own me, that's why. And this is the Hangman. So the Hangman is talking about having balance in your life. And I feel like there's a lot of cards here where I really, this is really good energy for making it. I feel this is saying this is really important life decisions that, can, have the potential to put you on different paths in life. And the Hangman, he climbs to the top of, or he hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's upside down because he's trying to look at it from a different bunch of viewpoints and gain perspective. And I feel that you did that, and I feel you made, for sure. If you're wondering, did I make the right choice? I would say yes, you have. And that's because what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. That's for sure. And maybe you learned that lesson with in a third party happening that broke your heart, and you really learned from that. And how, like, if it's not in alignment with your lifestyle, that you're not going to be happy. So I feel this is a really good reading, good advice for all of us, for sure. Make strong choices, especially when it comes to your lifestyle and your freedom. And freedom is discipline of the mind. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like and comment if you have. It really empowers me to build my channel. Consider subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another random reading soon. Bye for now. Okay, little kitty.